basically every game I've discussed so far has had a top-down perspective, and 3 of them have been fairly similar in genre. So, today, new genre, new perspective. Here's why I love Heart&Slash. This may be surprising coming from me, but this game has a soundtrack that I really enjoy. There'll be songs from the soundtrack playing throughout the video, so you can get a taste of it too. The art style is interesting. I love pixel art, but there's just so much of it in video games these days. It's nice to see some variety. I like the blocky designs of the characters and the enemies. Maybe it's just because it's a rarely used art style, but I wouldn't mind seeing more of it in the future. Plus, obvious Gurren Lagann references help it out quite a bit. This game also has an enjoyable story. Not so much the core story, which is a tale you've heard before. A robot designed to find and eliminate errors realizes that humans make the most errors and kills all humans, which leads to robot racism. An oversimplification to be sure, but that's the basics of it. The real good stuff is the story of the main character, Heart, and their interactions with the supporting character, Slash. These characters meet, eventually team up, and fall in love. I don't want to spoil the details of this portion of the story, because if you want to play the game, it is some of the real good bits. But this also adds secondary objectives to complete along your way throughout the game. I do feel like this video is backwards a bit, because I've mostly talked about soundtrack and visual design at the end of videos and started off with the gameplay. With only 4 videos in this series, I'm not so sure if I've done enough to have a formula, so maybe I'm being a bit crazy. Still, this game is quite fun. The combat is very simple. Melee weapons have a hard and light attack that you can chain together in ways you are probably very familiar with. You can hold 3 weapons at once and switch between them by holding the shoulder buttons. Nothing about this is too fancy or new or different, but it's all easy to get a handle on, and it works really well. There are projectile weapons, which can be very helpful for when you want to keep enemies away, but these weapons are a bit clumsy to use. The good thing is, there are 75 different weapons to choose from in this game, ranging from swords to shotguns to grenades to disco balls? So, you'll easily be able to find something that you really love. As for the ones that you don't want to use, there's a recycling system in place. Recycling a weapon, or body part, replenishes health, or it adds more max health if you are full on health already. This is a cool system, where you can sacrifice items to stay alive, basically trading power for more life. The body parts change the way your character looks, so you can customize yourself to look as dumb as you want. These also add bonuses to attack, defense, or unique effects like giving you a jetpack, turning your dodge into a dash, or making time move only when you do. You can mix and match pieces to have whatever effects you really like. Plus, everything can be upgraded. When you kill enemies, you get bolts, and when you get 10 of those, you get a box, which is used for upgrades. These upgrades just make all of your gear better, but you can also upgrade yourself for more health, and things like a better dodge or faster movement too. The core combat of this game is really fun. Again, it isn't new and different, but it's well made, and sometimes that's all you really need. I really enjoy beating up on the average enemies you run into throughout each level. They all have the same telegraph of their attacks. Exclamation marks appear above the enemies' heads, so you know when to get out of the way. But because this is a roguelike game, random combinations of enemies provide some interesting challenges. Seeing the enemies come up again and again will teach you how to deal with them, and which ones you want to eliminate first. Like I always try to get rid of the ones carrying chainsaws, and leave anything covered in armor to the end. This is the best part of the game. It feels fun and good to run around in a fight, which is perfect for the recently added Endless Dungeon mode, which is just facing off against waves of enemies for as long as you can last. So, if you're really feeling the urge to smash some baddies, you can just jump in and have a blast. Or try for the top of the leaderboard. But the story mode is a fast run that will unlock most of the weapons and body parts. It is only 3 levels long, which I actually really like. Sometimes you're busy and you just want to squeeze in some fun. This game is one that doesn't eat up crazy amounts of time, and it doesn't really waste my time either. Okay, so I do really love this game, but here will be something new to these videos. A bit of the negatives about this game. I never really rated the games I talked about in my previous videos, but games like Brigador, Assault Android Cactus, and Monolith are near perfect games to me, so I'd honestly give them something like a 10 out of 10. Heart&Slash would be something like a 7 out of 10. A very solid game that I really have enjoyed my time playing, but it does have some noticeable issues. Remember how I said that you could upgrade your movement speed? Yeah, this game can get way too fast, especially when platforming comes up, which thankfully it doesn't come up often. but noticeably it comes up in the end, right before the final boss. And it just kinda sucks. I wish it wasn't in the game. Just look at it. Sometimes you can get caught on the environment as well. This is rarely a real issue, but more of an inconvenience. It only annoys me when I'm trying to run across the map after I found a dead end, and then I get stuck in a door. I mentioned that the range weapons feel a bit clumsy, but beyond that, the slower weapons just feel way less useful than the very quick weapons. This may just be a personal preference thing, but the benefit of hitting harder with slow weapons just never seems worth it to me in this game. The second level of this game is pretty boring. It's mostly huge rooms and just kind of feels thrown together. The first level has a really nice theme, being set in the robot factory, and the third level is awesome, being that it's a space elevator you have to climb to reach the end. Just considering that one level is a lemon, and that there are only 3 levels, it can really put a damper on some of your runs in the game. Oh, and while filming footage of the game for this video, I ran into whatever the hell this is. The last problem I have with the game is that, while the combat is very fun, the bosses are not. They aren't all terrible, they just range from boring to not fun. Still, I think only 4 major complaints is pretty damn good for a game like this. I hope to talk about this idea more in future videos, but a flawed game can still be something you really love. Games don't have to be the most amazing thing ever, or just garbage trash. There's tons of room in between for those two extremes. So if you like a solid hack and slash style roguelike with some fun characters and sweet tunes, this game could be for you. I can't honestly demand that everyone go out and buy this game this instant like I have with other games in the past. There's a lot of great bits going on, it's overall very fun to play, but it feels like it needed a little more time in the oven. This game is made by a small team, so it's harder for them to catch every bug and all that, and they have fixed bugs and provided updates post-launch, so I have hope that the game will keep getting better. But if you have an interest in this kind of game, pick it up and you'll have a blast. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Since the last video, I've become a graduate. I have a master's degree now. Who knows what my schedule will be like in the coming times. I know I wanted to say I wanted to make these happen about once a month, but I feel like that's a promise I can't keep. So these will happen when they happen. And I'm really thankful for all the people who stick around and watch these videos. Also, everyone who shares these videos around are absolute heroes in my book. I really appreciate that. With that, be sure to check me out on Twitter and check the Discord. Like, comment, share the video, all that good stuff. Please check the description for links and information on all that I mentioned, but as well as the art and music used in this video. And thanks again for watching. And join me for the next video for something significantly more ambitious.